Welcome, everyone. It's Thursday. Oh, yes, it is. It is Thursday. Hmm. You know what that means? That is Thursday. That's what it means. Uh, Last night, we were reading the lecture, and the lady who was writing the letter to Neville Goddard, she made a statement. She said, "It was out of my desperation that I tried what you taught in your lectures." Now, sometimes when we think of desperation, we think of a negative thing. It matters where you point the desperation, where you focus the desperation. You can use desperation like wood for a fire, as opposed to using the wood to beat somebody with, right? There's two ways to use it. So you, oh Lord, child, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened? God. It's okay, baby. It's okay, huh? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Sorry, y'all. My little chicky boo. He's pretty. Oh, he's awake. You see, sometimes with desperation, we allow desperation to use us. Well, what you mean? Well, we sit in the desperation and we panic. Oh, that's what we tend to do. We tend to sit in the desperation and panic. But if we would use it as fuel, meaning you say, look, just like the woman said in the letter she wrote, just like she said in the letter, she said, out of my desperation, I decided I was going to try what you said. You see the difference? She used it to point herself, to give herself the energy to test the theory, test the hypothesis, which would be a hypothesis is a theory you can test, which is imagining creates reality. She says, nah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna test this out because she was desperate. But she didn't use her desperation to rock in the corner. She didn't use her desperation to try and figure herself out. She used it as a source of energy to say, let me put this fire behind testing it out. If you pay attention, you'll see the difference between the two. You will see the difference between the two sensations of desperation, and you'll know which one you're using, right? It is just energy. It's like if you were feeling ill and you were just upset, that, man, I'm just so tired of being ill, you would get angry. The anger isn't bad, it isn't negative, it is fuel because you say, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you get up and you do something. Period. You just get up and you do something because you're using the fuel of your anger not to become enraged at anybody, because there is a difference. You use it just like you used the desperation to point yourself in the direction of your change, because sometimes there was one letter where she said she was exhausted from just trying everything. She was just exhausted. She wanted so many things that would make her life better. And by the time she was done, quote unquote, visualizing, she was exhausted. She was tired, but she remembered. Use the imagination. Use your imagination. It seems weird. It seems kind of woo woo, right? And that's the thing. Bewee, I love your point there. Just if you could see the desperation, it is just energy. This it's just a ball of energy. What are you going to do with that ball of energy? Because that's what it is. It's an energy source. So the way that you use it determines what it becomes in your world. So when you have that feeling, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what to do. If you make a decision now to practice imagining, what are we going to imagine? Well, it's simple. Experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality. You, like athletes do, visualize running the race. Child, don't stand in the shadows, baby. I will do my best. Mm, sorry. Downstairs is pitch black. And he just, like he floated downstairs. But what I am saying to you is when you imagine, you're not just imagining something that is random or willy-nilly. It is a focused thing. So this is where you would use or employ your desperation just out of sheer curiosity. Does this thing really work? I don't know. But I know it worked yesterday. I know it worked the day before and the day before. Well, let me keep at it. You see, they tell us insanity would be doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Okay? You do the same thing the same way every time, but you expect something else to happen. The only thing that happens is what you're doing right there at that time. So if you're using your desperation as an energy source, you're looking at your situation and you're saying, you know what? As my father would say, nothing beats a failure but a try. Eh? Nothing beats a failure but a try. You can't fail. Test it. Test it. And here is how you test it. Watch yourself and you will see you're doing it every day. You are imagining every single day, every moment of the day. Whether you cussing somebody out, whether you're rehearsing a skit, whether you are uh, imagining what you're going to cook for supper, you are imagining. But what if you felt a little funny and you're like, oh man, I really don't know how this is going to turn out. I really need this thing to happen right there. You see? When you say, I really need this thing to happen. Oh boy, that's the stumbling block. But if you say, I'm going to test it anyway. I know that's on the back burner. I know I need it to happen. But you know what? I'm going to test this thing. I'm going to experience in imagination what I would be doing. And you put all of your energy and your focus into doing that imaginative act instead of rocking in the corner trying to figure out how you're going to get out of the situation. See? It is the same desperation, but you're using it in two different ways. One, you are using to fuel the imagination. What would it be like? What would I be doing if all my needs were met? What would I be doing? How would I be walking? How would I be talking? How would I be driving? How would I be cooking? How would I be dancing? How would I be living my life if I were the man or the woman I wanted to be? And you use that desperation to focus yourself and just test your imagination. What can you conjure in your mind's eye? And I know that word is kind of funny for some of y'all when I say conjure, but what do you think you're doing when you come up with an idea? You conjure the idea, yes? You bring it up. You generate the idea. You're using the principle of gender to come up with an idea. And when you come up with an idea of what you would be doing in reality, when you come up with that and it's in your mind's eye, now how do you feel? See, this is the difference. Whatever emotion you feel most potently, use it to fuel yourself instead of to beat yourself up. Think about that for a moment. Simply use it to fuel yourself. Point yourself in the direction. What direction, Angela, is that? Experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. That's what you're doing day in and day out. That is what you are doing. Every time you sit there and you think about, oh my God, what if that happened? I don't know what I'll be able to do if that happened. What do you think you're doing? You are experiencing in imagination what you would be experiencing in reality if that thing that you were afraid of happened. We call it the worst case scenario. So you see, you are always doing it. I am always doing it. So the key then would be to turn our attention to, what would the best case scenario be? All you're doing is selecting where you will entertain yourself. What will you entertain? See? That's what makes the difference when you're feeling desperate. What are you entertaining? You will either entertain something that fires up your desperation and make it bigger and overwhelm yourself, or you will conjure something up that sucks all of the energy out of the desperation and uses it for your own benefit. So you see, you do not judge the emotion. Don't judge it. Just look at it and decide, what am I going to conjure in my mind's eye? What am I going to imagine? Am I going to imagine the best case scenario? Okay, fine. Then that's what I will focus on. And that's where you put the energy. And here's the thing. Sometimes it feels challenging to do that. Sometimes it feels challenging. Oh God, I can't put my focus there. I got too many worries. If I focus over there, that's not going to put any money in the bank. You say, what now? You see, because we are so programmed to see with our eyes that we don't know with our hearts. That's the difference there. We're so busy seeing with the eye that we forget to know within our hearts. That's the difference. Yes? Because when you see with the naked eye, you got to see to read, right? To drive, to cook. That's the reason you need your eyes, to see what's there. But when you're talking about knowing something, that does not require your eyes. That requires the heart. It's a big difference. It's a very big difference. So today, be encouraged. Your emotions do not have power over you unless you give it the power over you. Which means, as in that sentence that Neville says, when you're a man of senses, you're blind, you know. Oh, sure, you can see and you can hear. You can talk, you can smell, you can taste, you can touch. Yeah, you can do all those things with your senses. But what about the other one? What about the knowing? This is why the principle of mentalism is so important. The all is mind, the universe is mental, which means you must know what you want to become. You must know what you want to become. And like yesterday, we write a prompt. Well, what do I want to become? I want to become, and you write that prompt and you put it out into the world. And just like ChatGPT, you will get the experience back. We must use everything at our disposal, including our feelings. Use them to fuel our imagination. They're just fodder for the fire. Come now. They can't break you. After all, they're just an effect, right? So today, practice. Practice knowing what you want to become. And then experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality. And it's going to make you feel a particular way. It'll either make you feel like, man, she crazy. That stuff don't work. I've been trying that for years. Same foolish thing day in and day out. I must be crazy. Or you will feel like, you know, it happened over here. I can remember when it happened over here and I wasn't even trying. I remember when it happened over there and I wasn't even trying. But you see, I know it works. So I'ma just stay focused. And I know that many things will show up and try and pull me away, but I'ma hold my focus. I'ma stand 10 toes down. Because this is real. If I plant corn, I get corn. See, you'll feel one of two ways. Exactly, BB. You will know at any time which one you are entertaining. If you are using the energy to experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality, carry on, my friends. Carry on, carry on. Yeah, carry on. Because you're doing it. But if you're using the energy to complain about how bad it is and how hard you've been trying, you see, we don't have to try. We just select the mood. You know this. Listen, if you are in the mood for chocolate cake, okay, what are you going to do? Chocolate cake will make its way to your mouth for sure because you were in the mood for it. If you are in the mood to argue, oh, an argument will make its way to your door. Whatever you are in the mood for, you find a way to experience, not by force, yeah? Not by force. Scripture says it this way, not by might, not by power, but by my spirit. And what do you think spirit is? Oh, the imagination. I was driving the other day and I started singing the Temptations. Each day through my window I watch her as she passes by. I say to myself, you're such a lucky guy. To have a girl like her is truly a dream come true. Out of all the fellas in the world, she belongs to you. And what's the next line he said? But it was just my imagination. Right? That's what he said. It was just my imagination. He is telling you what he is doing. You and I do it every day. We sit and we paint a picture, but sometimes when we don't believe in the very picture we make, we toss it out, thereby holding ourselves where we don't want to be. And he's sitting here singing it to you, telling you, listen, he is telling you what he's saying to himself. Oh, you such a lucky guy. She could have had anybody in the world. She picked you. Oh. You see what that does to you? It fires you up. It gets you excited. Because that's what we do naturally. So you get into your mind's eye and you paint the picture of what it is you want to experience in the world. And you do not let yourself or let alone anybody else tell you that's not true. That can't happen, says the person until it happens. And then they say, it would have happened anyway. Well, of course it would have happened anyway because you were entertaining it. So it could only happen. So today, my beautiful friends, whatever that thing is that you feel desperate about, recalibrate yourself. How do you recalibrate yourself? Experience in imagination what you would experience in reality. You see, next time you hear the Temptations singing Just My Imagination, you will understand and you will begin to practice building your life in your mind's eye and staying faithful to it instead of contradicting it. How you gonna contradict the thing you want by talking about, oh, I don't know if it's possible? Listen, I'm not coming for you this morning. I'm telling this to myself because I know what it is to mentally battle and try and convince yourself. But here's the thing that I've noticed. When you make a decision to point yourself in a particular direction, it's it's like things begin to unfold in that direction. I wanted to feel better yesterday because I was annoyed. And I said, you know what? Nah, man, I need to feel better today. I just want to feel better. Pardon me. And tutus, as they say in Barbados, tutus just like that, and two shakes of a lamb's tail. I felt better. I didn't do anything different. I didn't turn on the radio. I did nothing other than say, I want to feel better. And I exhaled because I was inhaling. So then I exhaled because I'm driving. I was like, "Ugh, I just want to feel better." And in that moment, it was like, I want to say it was a sensation. That's the best way I can describe it. And I just felt better. I really just felt better. And that was it. I didn't push, I didn't force, I just made a choice. You know what? I want to feel better than what I feel like right now. And that was it. I felt better. And as I kept driving home, it was like, I noticed, I was like, wait, I do feel better. And I was like, well, that was really easy. That was really easy. So you see, that's what I'm telling you today. That desperation that you might be feeling at the moment, use it to fuel your imagination. Because what you do with that is you remove the sting of the desperation. Because there's two different ways. You'll feel it. If you allow the desperation to make you rock and complain in the corner, well, desperate times, desperate measures. But if you say, you know what? I know I need this thing to change. And the way it's going to change is if I start to experience in imagination what I would experience in reality if I were the man or the woman I wanted to be. That's how I'm going to see this difference. That's how I'm going to experience something new. And you pour all of your energy into building the new, and the old just crumbles of its own volition because it doesn't have any life in it anymore because you are not giving it your life. Everything you give your attention to is siphoning your life from you. So the thing is this: whatever you put your energy into, make sure it is mutually beneficial and it gives you life back. You don't want to become, listen, this is why bitterness leaves you as a husk of a person, because it is not mutually beneficial. It just sucks life from you and doesn't give you anything back. But love, on the other hand, love, it will feed you. Feed me, Seymour, right? Love will feed you and keep you sustained. So choose this day whom you will serve, yeah? Because you can't serve two masters. Only one at a time. So pick the one. Just Once you choose it, oh, just stay faithful. Stay faithful. What are you staying faithful to? Experiencing in imagination what I would be doing in reality. That's where you stay faithful. But Angela, I've stayed faithful for a week. Some people stay faithful for 40 years. But you know what? I'm not going to say anything more after that. You have to stay. Let me say it this way. You will naturally stay faithful. God, I just whistled. You will naturally stay faithful to that thing that you love. Naturally. Faithfulness is not something that it is not a cause. It is an effect. It is a byproduct of you remaining truthful and honest with what? The thing you say you want to become. That's how faithfulness emerges. But we try and force our faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. That hymn, let me tell you, when you hear great is thy faithfulness, why do the principles remain faithful? Because faithfulness is their design. As within, so without is faithful to always have that seed follow through to its fruit. Faithfully it does it. So the law is faithful because that is the side effect of the very existence of the law. So you don't have to do faithful. The moment you remain in the practice of experiencing in imagination what you would experience in reality if you were the man or the woman you want to be, you become faithful. So faithfulness is an effect. And every effect has its cause. So today, my beautiful friends, Koya, symmetric, let's go. I see you on Twitter. You see, listen, all you gotta do is stay faithful, and they come on Twitter, don't they? Because you know how sometimes Twitter is just tumbleweed Twitter, but not today. It's a full house on Twitter with the four of us in that space. Yes, indeed. And let's look at YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. Rone, Bewee. Yes, Bewee, you're either imagining what you don't want or you are imagining what you do want. And Neville used the example of Jesus and Barabbas. Yes, Bewee, he did. You can only crucify one and release the other. That's what that story is telling you. You choose one. Huh? And Yaya and Shea Butter, you're here. Now who's here on fan base? Burnt Skillet is in the house. Yes, honey. Oh, my Scotch Bonnet is in the house. Moon and Dolphin Duck. Um, I don't know how to say your name. Let me um Imava. Look. Don't come for me because I don't know how to say your name, but welcome, darling. Hello, honey. Ray, Dawn, I see you. Oh, Miss Miriam, welcome back, darling. KZ, oh, look, Dashana was like, ooh, pop in, pop out. But today I trust that it makes sense. I trust that it makes sense. The emotions that you feel, right? You choose what direction you are going to point them in, right? The emotion, whether it be desperation, whether it be anger, whether it doesn't matter, whether it be love, it doesn't matter which emotion it is. Where are you putting it? Where are you putting it? If you are putting it into the complaining, well, you know how that turns out. But if you are putting it into experiencing in imagination what you would be doing in reality, well, then you know you're doing it well. You know, LL Cool J style. I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it well. Hello? So that's what I will leave you with this morning. You might get chicken again. I don't know, because he's right over here. Like, I can't even see him because he's black and he blends in. I can't see him, but I know he's there. And faithfully, he sings the most beautiful song every single day. Faithfully, he sings it. And faithfully, I participate and say, "Oh, that's my baby. You can sing your song for mommy all day." And that's what I tell him. And I kiss him because he's sweet. He doesn't try to be sweet, he just is sweet. So today, my beautiful friends, rehearse or experience in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. That is what we do, indeed. So as we play the chime this morning, simply allow yourself to rest in the knowledge. You know, Neville said, you have to have the same faith that when you plant your garden, when you plant it, Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow with silver bells and cockle shells all in a row? Yes? You know that what you plant, you reap. You know this for fact. You know it because ain't nobody told you. You know it because you walk by that mango tree and you teeth somebody mangoes in. Sucking on a ripe mango is so good. You didn't have to buy it. You just walk by and you smelt them and you say, "Ooh," and you pick it and you eat it. Why? Because a mango tree will only give you mangoes. You learned that from the time you could comprehend. You learned that. Now, use it in your life. What is the attitude you're walking with? Well, then that's the only fruit you will bear. So when you hear the chime this morning, will you experience an imagination? What you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be? Oh. mm, that honest one. Oh my goodness. It has been a very long time, my love. But it is good to see you again. Countdown initiated. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Much love to each and every one of you. Much love to each and every one of you today. Go forth into this world and use your imagination wisely. Use your imagination, as Neville would say, lovingly. And practice experiencing in imagination what you would be doing in reality if you were the man or the woman you wanted to be. And you know I will see you tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you want to fall asleep with us, that is. Right here on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Fanbase, Twitter. I do love you, and I will see you soon. Much love. Twitter is closed.